An atomizer is a device most often used to distribute what?
How's this spelled?
Crazy. Well, it might be atomizer.
Yeah, I think it's atomizer.
It's atomizer because, well, it's just ATOMIZER.
Yeah, I'm
What is
pretty
that?
confident that's atomizer.
What is it? That's atomizer.
Yeah. Now, what it does is that
What
the
does
question?
it distribute? Yeah. What does it often use to distribute?
I'm gonna guess the answer is not atoms. That feels like the obvious answer.
Yeah,
And that cannot be right.
That's what they want you to think.
Atomizer.
I don't think you're gonna get this. I want you to guess. I want you to give it your best shot, but I really don't think you're gonna get it. Atoms.
Because this literally could be anything. The way this question is phrased, it could be something
what
that's
I'm
like
saying.
a common. It could be like a scientific term, or
That's
just
what's
a
really
very
funny.
common household.
It could be.
Like you're like, oh, it's actually baking soda. I'm like, what? But then it also could be just some very, just like, esoteric.
Yeah.
I could end up saying, I don't know. What if I'm just like, proteins.
Is that your guess? That's your
That's
final
my
guess? It is. I honestly thought you were about to say it. It's perfume. Which is
I was not
just a
close.
random ass thing. Yeah, you started with
Yeah.
a P, so you were almost.
I love
there.
how you thought that you knew it was a guess, and just by the letter P, you thought I was gonna get that.
Yeah, because the way you said it, you were like, "Puh," and I was like,
I should have just been like, plum.
yeah, and I was like, I'll give
You're
you
like-
half points.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, it's perfume. Well, hey, we're here.
We're
I
here.
gotta get in podcast mode.
Podcast mode. Okay, this hat.
This one that I'm wearing.
Yeah, your hat, not my hat. My hat's the same one. As
Oh
always.
yeah. I am wearing a hat today because I'm having another bad hair day. But on that note, first of all, this is a hat that some guy named Young Rooftop sent me on Instagram. He sent me a free hat, and actually
It's a
this
brown
shirt.
hat. It kind of works though.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I
brown
really
is a
like it.
Underused
definitely-
hat color.
It's interesting, yeah. And this is a shirt that some people on Twitter sent me for free. So I'm just wearing entirely things that people sent me for free, which is
My
a good
travel
fit.
clothes are almost all clothes that were for free.
Really?
This is the one shirt that I purchased, and the rest were shirts from like lighting companies, like film lighting companies, and like other film.
yeah.
Like one is for some car that you just can mount stuff to. It's like a car metal, where the exterior is all metal, and it's
Just
for
all
like tracking
for car
shots.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. We
Don't
have
intend
a-
on using that service, but I guess I'm promoting them.
Right. We have a car rig shot in my movie, so maybe I'll reach out to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably incredibly expensive.
Yeah, probably not going to do that. Is one of the lighting companies Atlas by chance?
No, but
Okay.
one is Barbizon.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm assuming
enough
you're
familiar
using
with
Atlas, which
Barbizon.
everyone,
We're using
everyone
Atlas,
in Chicago
yeah.
loves Atlas.
Yeah. Anyway. That is what's going on this week. I think by the next time we record, maybe. Well, honestly, we might have to record beforehand, which would be crazy. I don't
you'll be
know
in
what we're going to
production
do.
soon.
Yeah. Like
How-
from Friday to Monday, I'll be making this short.
You
film.
getting excited?
Yeah, it's honestly like it's less. I've been nervous for like a month, and now that everything is kind of like there, I'm excited. We just locked the entire cast. We have one location that we're waiting to hear yes from, but everything is it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really
There
fun.
you go.
Yeah.
And then
Wishing
you
you
just
were
go
on
out and
set,
do it.
Jeff.
Yeah, that would have been fun, dude. For the
It would have
next
been
one, I'll
really
be there.
fun. Yeah. There'll be another one.
Yeah, I'll
there'll
do
be a
some
sequel.
behind the scenes
Yeah.
video, and I'm just
Yeah,
bothering you. It's
yeah.
like while their takes are happening, I'm just like pointing a camera in your face. You're like, get out of here.
We're yeah, we're gonna like zoom you in during one of the days, and you can just be there for support and
Perfect.
Yeah.
I will say hi to some
To
of
everybody.
people I know, like Mike Brunlieb.
Yeah, Mike. I'm actually meeting Mike in person tonight for the first time to rehearse.
For the first time.
I think I've seen it. I've met him in person. I was on Jaxie's set ladies'
Yeah.
night where he was there, but I never actually talked to him.
Yeah, tell Mike I said hi.
I will.
Anyways,
You were
yeah,
my
let's get
in.
into yeah.
I was like, I'm a friend of Jeff's. Anyway.
And Mike's like, I hate that guy.
What's been going on? Any new stories from Paris or?
Well, a couple days ago, I did like a day trip to it's like Mont Saint Michel.
Okay.
Okay,
How was
so
that?
it's
How was
like
that?
it's like this church that they built in the middle. It's like currently kind of like not connected to land, and sometimes like because of all I don't know. I guess it's mostly human intervention. The water completely surrounds it, and it's like this it's this church and this like little town below the church that are just completely surrounded by water.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, and also a lot of the times it's not underwater, but it's just completely this like clay kind of sand that surrounds it for like miles.
Wow.
Like on one side it's quite close to land, but like on the other side it's like you could just walk out on the clay for miles.
Where in France was this again? It was like
so it's
south
it's
or
kind of the part of France that's like the coast that's close to England.
Okay.
So it's like the
Gotcha.
northern. It's,
Yeah.
Not
That's a good
quite all the way. It's kind of mostly just like north, slightly west.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, that's cool. I did you take like the fast train there or whatever?
No, I took a very slow bus.
Oh, it wasn't a Flixbus, was it?
No, it wasn't a Flixbus.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
Well, anything's better than Flixbus, but that's still very cool.
Yeah, Flixbus. I almost took. I might go somewhere tomorrow, and I almost bought a Flixbus, but it was like for a day trip. The only two buses that, like for leaving and coming back, it was incredibly cheap. But it was a bus that leaves at 8 a.m. and doesn't get back until like 9:30 p.m. And I'm like, that would be the longest day trip in the world.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, I feel like I need a hotel. So I didn't do that.
Yeah, probably smart.
might
That's
take a
that
train.
Jeff travel tip for you guys.
Yeah. Don't take day trips that are over half of the day.
Yeah.
You want to limit your day trips to like less than 12 hours.
Honestly, and in my opinion, you might disagree, but avoid the overnight stuff because I hate my overnight bus ride. But I've talked about that a few different times.
Yeah, I've done some overnight stuff. Like I took that overnight train in Thailand.
Yeah.
And I was too tall for the bed. So that wasn't fun.
Yeah.
And not just like a little bit too tall for the bed. I was like way too tall for the bed.
Oh, man.
Like a foot too tall for the bed. It was like, yeah, it was not a good time. But anyways, you know what? We're going to have a good time. I tried to do a transition.
Okay, something well, this isn't actually a fun thing to talk about. I was like, because you were talking about like it's this the way wherever this thing you visited was like kind of sometimes it goes underwater or whatever. I read this article this week that like Chicago is slowly going underwater, which that's not a fun story, but I was just like,
how slow are we talking about?
It's actually moving like rapidly fast. Wait,
like
Chicago,
next year it's going to be underwater.
Yeah, that's why all the Chicago comedians have moved out. Everybody's kind of wait, where's the I can't find it now, but it was a great New York Times article on how like the city's like built on a swamp, and because of like rising sea levels or whatever, it's like it was just not built for this change, and like so much of the city is like directly on the coast or something, and it's just not looking good.
Yeah, but I remember for global warming, there's like an article that has a list of places you should move to. Yeah, and I think the number one was Madison, Wisconsin.
That makes sense. I feel like.
Yeah,
right?
it's surrounded by like the inland lakes, so they shouldn't really rise with global warming.
Right.
Has the source of water right around it.
Yeah.
Or it could have just been an article written by someone from Madison, like trying to promote tourism.
Yeah, we got to get to.
we gotta get these real estate prices
people
through the roof.
It honestly is. That is true though, because it's like Chicago is theoretically the best big city to live in weather-wise, besides like I guess like the cold and the wind. But like
really, besides half the year.
Yeah, half the year that sucks. Yeah, but it's like LA has like earthquakes and like the ocean next, and like New York. I don't know actually about New York. New York has problems though, I'd assume.
Yeah.
And Florida is just, it's
a lot of hurricanes.
A lot of hurricanes. Right now the hurricane going through Florida is like Hurricane Elsa or whatever.
Yeah,
that's
one,
my sister's name.
Yeah. It hit my parents, but it was like a category 1, which in Florida we balk at category 1s. That's nothing to us.
You had me worried there for a second. I was
it did like hit them technically, but it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. There was a tornado warning in Chicago the other day, and that was really weird because I was like, I didn't think tornadoes could come into the city, and they didn't. They usually like stop by the time they get here, but they're like, we're like, stay out, yeah.
Stay out, tornadoes.
Stay out, yeah.
Who tells them that?
We all do it in unison. The city of Chicago.
You just all bang pots and pans out the window.
We fly the W as I don't know. I'm like really running out of jokes here. These aren't even jokes. Okay. Well, news. If we want to move into that.
Oh yes, I forgot. It's like it's our often. It's our beloved news segment.
Our beloved,
often forgotten, much beloved by everyone.
Yeah. I think you'll like this one. I just think there'll be stuff to talk about here. This is yet again another. I just go to Variety. If anyone's caught on to this yet, I just go to Variety, and this one is Space Jam: A New Legacy. Warner Brothers is tossing 91,000 NFTs featuring characters. LeBron James up for grabs. That's a very incoherent headline, but I think the gist of it is the Looney Tunes world of digital collectibles known as NFTs is now getting actual Looney Tunes.
Okay, you also read that because when you said the gist of it, I thought you were paraphrasing yourself, and I'm like,
no,
I just
read more. No.
He's like, that Looney Tunes world of NFTs. Well, now they're getting actual
Looney Tunes. Yeah.
Isn't that bonkers? It's just like the Tasmanian Devil did a big tornado right through my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to bring this up. One, because Space Jam's coming out soon. Obviously, we're going to watch it for this podcast. Like,
of course.
This is honestly like up there with the French Dispatch as like our most anticipated episodes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even know if anyone who listens to this podcast wants us to watch Space Jam.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
But even if they didn't, that we would.
Yeah, and it's
even
coming
if
out.
Every single listener sent us a written DM that says, "Hey, please don't watch Space Jam for the podcast," we would still do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's 2 hours long. I just saw. That's crazy.
For a kids movie. The original Space Jam feels like it's like 6 minutes long. It's like a music video.
I know. It goes by. I mean,
like, welcome to the jam, and then
Michael half
slams
of it,
and then is that intro sequence.
Yeah, half of it's the opening credits. And then there's like 20 credits at the end. So in total, that movie is like an hour long, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one actually comes out in like 4 days, so it might just be our next movie.
It could be.
Just a heads up. But yeah, I wanted to bring this up because I don't even think we've talked about this, and honestly, it feels like irrelevant by now. But what are your like thoughts on the whole NFT craze, Jeff?
So I own a very small amount of cryptocurrency. My brother's a lot more into it than I am.
I was about to say, I feel like your brother is the type to get into this.
Big time into it, crypto. So my brother owns actually a virtual racehorse.
Oh wait, I knew about this. Yeah.
He owns a virtual racehorse, and he pays for it to run races, and then he wins money if his horse wins. Now, I think that it's completely random which horse wins.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
it's like
so
that feels like gambling. It's like a casino
it is gambling.
thing,
It's
basically.
entirely gambling.
Yeah,
But you got to like own a horse.
that's cool. I mean, he owns that. Yeah,
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of like an NFT.
totally. It's like I feel like that's the same appeal of like an NFT.
Yeah,
which
where I guess NFTs are like trading cards but digital.
digital. Yeah, and I don't fully, I don't understand it at all. I mean, I
Yeah.
understand it, but I'm like, why would you? I've
Right.
seen people. The thing is, it's like I have such mixed feelings about it because I follow a lot of like digital artists on Twitter and stuff, and it seems like they're making some good coin off of this, and like they're able to support themselves. But I'm also like, what? Why would anyone pay like
Right.
$4,000 for
Yeah.
a JPEG?
The stuff, and also, of course, the stuff still exists for everyone else to see. It's just you get to say
That's what I'm
technically
saying.
you own it,
Yeah, like that's yours.
or like you
but
own the NFT of it. I don't know.
I'll just screenshot it, and then I also
yeah.
own it.
I also love how this was like huge news 2 months ago, and now we're talking about it.
Yep. We're behind the
yeah,
curve.
we're not like once it affects Space Jam, then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. That's literally.
Yeah,
I wish I could
but
show you the Bugs Bunny, like the trading card we're working with here. It's not.
Can you mimic like the appearance of Bugs? Like, can you do the face that Bugs is doing?
Bugs is like, well, he's got his arm here, and then his other finger here, and he's like spinning a basketball, and he's like, you know.
All right, are there any other ones?
No, they just have a photo of. You have to pay
they
for
just
the
have
other
photos.
ones. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing of. Well, that's not the thing about NFTs. But
That's not at all what NFTs are.
no, okay. It says it says no doubt people are collecting NFTs because they believe they will become more valuable. But across the NFT ecosystem, you don't see opportunities for large. I don't know why. I thought that was going to lead to something interesting, but.
Yeah. Once you saw the
just-
words "no doubt," you were like, "This." There's no.
I was like,
doubt
no
I'm gonna
doubt.
wanna read
I
this."
gotta check out what this. Okay, the Space Jam NFTs were developed with the creative capabilities and blockchain technology of Palm NFT Studio, which provides an energy-efficient way to mint NFTs that the company claims reduces power consumption by 99%. Which I guess I don't know how much of that I trust or whatever, but
Right.
I know that is also like the big controversy with NFTs is people are like it's so shitty for the environment.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like it's hard to understand how much energy it uses.
Yeah.
And also, for all we know, there could be one guy who his old business was making an NFT that's as least energy efficient as possible so that he could go to other NFT places and say, you can use my shitty NFT that uses it kills like 20 trees every time you make one. And you could say that yours is 99% better because mine's so bad.
Yeah. True.
So you never know. Maybe they're pulling a fast one on us.
Yeah. They don't really get into details there, I guess.
Yeah.
I just
They're
think it's
like,
funny.
Hey, you see Bugs with that ball? Buy them. Could be yours.
I just think it's funny that back when NFTs were like really popping off, like Gorillaz, the band. I think I talked about this. They started making them, and everyone was like, "Plastic Beach, you were supposed to be like this environmental band." Anyway, it's just very ironic, I guess.
I love how that didn't really go anywhere, but you still managed to trash Gorillaz.
Well, which is like one of my favorite bands. I just and I also realized halfway through, I'm like, this 100% was brought up on the podcast before, and yeah, having an off day. But we're gonna slowly
Is your favorite
get the ball.
Gorillaz song "Feel Good Inc"?
No, but
Is that the normie song?
that's the normie song. But it's a great song. I still listen to it all the time. My favorite one, which is also a normie song, actually, now that I think about it, is "Rhinestone Eyes." It's still one of their most popular. But
Yeah.
Anyway,
I honestly never listened to Gorillaz besides "Feel Good Inc."
you should. I feel like you'd like the Gorillaz, not the Gorillaz. Anyway, and
you want to get into the movie?
Heads. Yeah, let's get into the movie. Today we're talking about Paris, Texas. Speaking
It's
of
funny because Paris and I'm in France.
Yeah, and I'm not in Texas, but
also it's also not at all about France. That's like
Right,
one of the
yeah.
jokes of the film.
This is a 1984, I think.
Yes.
Okay, 1984 film directed by Wim Wenders. I think it might be Wim Wenders.
It's very alliterative, regardless.
Yeah, I've heard different pronunciations. And the synopsis is: a disheveled man who wanders out of the desert, Travis Henderson, played by Harry Dean Stanton, seems to have no idea who he is. When a stranger manages to contact his brother Walt, Travis is awkwardly reunited with his sibling. Travis has been missing for years, and his presence unsettles Walt and his family, which also includes Travis's own son, Hunter. Soon, Travis must confront his wife, Jane, and try to put his life back together. This was also the Palme d'Or winner at the Cannes Film Festival. That was
okay. The pronunciation we have to talk about real quick.
Palme d'Or.
What you just called it the Palme d'Or, like it's a door made of palm trees. So let's just call it the golden palm or whatever. You know, we'll completely translate it.
I'm gonna tweet in the middle of the podcast right now and say, "Hope Wes Anderson wins the Palme d'Or," and spell it DOOR.
Yes, actually, that's a good tweet. That is a good tweet. Here, I'm gonna in the middle of the podcast. I'm gonna like that.
This is a behind the scenes look at the magic.
See, I have two phones. This is my U.S. phone. This is my international phone.
Oh yeah. I'm
gonna use my international. Oh, here we go. Oh, dude, you're already 17 seconds. You're already at 13.
We're at
likes.
17 likes now.
18.
Actually,
we just count for the rest of the podcast. You know, we'll revisit that if we remember at the end.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? And this was a big winner there, and a big winner all over the place. Except I mean, like awards wise, I didn't research that, but it is known as one of like the best films of all time. Like, I personally didn't, but every time I bring this up to like some friends, they always talk about like how much they reference it in film school, and I was like, I actually never was. That no one ever like brought this up in my film classes, but apparently it is. It's just like a classic, and I've been meaning to watch it for a while, and we both watched it finally, and
for the first time.
We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
I will say right off the bat, I'm curious to see what you think about this, Jeff, because my first thought when I was watching this was, and maybe I'm wrong, I was like, this is a very Jeff movie, just because I know you like walking a lot. And the guy is just walking around for a lot of the film.
He loves walking more than I do, I think.
Yeah.
Because normally, I don't normally walk out of a town just into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he seemed totally fine with that.
Totally. Well, you like walking. You like movies with deserts.
Yeah.
Because like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and then
Ishtar.
Yeah. Rango.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you think of this movie at the end of the day?
I also like open plains, like visually.
Yeah.
Which some amazing cinematography on
fantastic cinematography.
Great open plains. Mm-hmm. Gotta love that.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm agreeing with you that I also never heard this referenced in film school, like maybe more than a handful of times.
Yeah.
I did not know anything about this film going into it.
No,
Literally nothing.
To be honest, neither did I. I knew like a very vague amount. Like this man is. I thought I heard that he was like lost in the desert, which for the first 10 minutes I was like, that tracks. This guy is not where he's supposed to be right now. But
he's a fish out of water. No, he's not even a fish out of water.
But then the rest of the movie, it's just like the movie moves in a way where I did not know where it was going or what he was going to do, you know?
Yeah. I was very, I think, shocked by the pacing of this film.
Yeah.
Because the way the film starts, it's this incredibly like drawn out slow pace. Mm-hmm. And I thought that it was going to substantially pick up, once you hit, whatever you want to call it in filmmaking terms, but when his brother picks him up, that did not really happen. No. This film, I feel like, for me, kept a fairly consistent pace the entire way through.
Yeah.
which I was. It was kind of not. It wasn't off-putting. It was just surprising.
Definitely.
Because it was such a slow pace.
Right. It's a very because I saw the runtime and I was like, wow, that's a long movie about a guy in the middle of nowhere, and it kind of is exactly what it is. Like he's just kind of, I mean, like he gets out of the desert and stuff, and but it does move very slowly. Like so many of the scenes, if not most of the scenes, are all like one shot, but not in like the way you typically like the camera just like stays in one place and you just watch it, which I feel like that's a thing in a lot of movies, but this movie just really sits with these scenes.
This felt to me a lot like, I see why people would reference this in film school, and that this is it has a lot of extreme examples of that, like very classic, like, film school, like long take. Where people try to emulate this in scene studies all the time, and it's always terrible.
Yeah.
Where it's like someone sitting like against like a wall and they're doing this whole monologue, and then you're watching it like the person's version of it in class, and you're like, oh my God, this sucks so much. But the thing about this film that makes it special is that it didn't suck.
Yeah, it's actually good.
Exactly. So I was like, wow, I'm watching this person sitting against a wall talking for 6 minutes straight, and I'm interested.
Yeah. That's that is the thing. For as like slow and very like simple as so much of it is, I was never that bored and I think the film is so fragile because of like how it works, because you actually never know kind of what happened to him until the end, and I thought it did like such a great job at like slowly unveiling itself when it knew it needed to, when we were like, because like it got to a certain point at the beginning, for example, when I was like, oh my God, like he really needs to start talking, or else this is gonna be a long movie.
I'm like,
and
does he not talk the whole time? Because like
I know. But he did exactly when I started like feeling like that, and it kind of seemed like that was the case with the rest of the movie, where I was like, it just seemed to like finally let loose when it needed to, which culminated in such a really like intense ending of recapping everything that happened. And now I just want to watch it again. I feel like this is definitely a movie where I'm like, wow, I'd really love this a second time, knowing a little bit more. But yeah. I did want to talk about the cinematography, that it's just like, it's really well, it's shot by Robbie Mueller. I don't know.
Definitely one of those two is right.
Yeah. And he's done he did a bunch of like Jim Jarmusch movies and like some other things that I know, but he's like an amazing cinematographer, and this is, I think, like his most acclaimed, rightfully so. There's like a lot of reds and greens, which I'm sure there's like some really well thought out analysis of that, but
he wanted to emulate Christmas.
This is
it's actually a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie, yeah.
I mean, it's a kid getting reunited with his dad.
Something funny.
That's Christmas.
The kid's name is Hunter, and the actor's name is also Hunter.
Yeah, they just didn't want to confuse him.
That's
Maybe they had his name as something else, and he kept like not responding to it.
They're like, oh fuck.
Remember, we're just name is James.
They had to reshoot a bunch of scenes because they were like, we ended up changing it to Hunter for.
Quickly extrapolating on that Christmas idea. What if the reason he left his family was because he's Santa Claus? That's why he grew a beard?
And he's got a red hat in the beginning. Holy shit. Wait. We cracked the code. And she's Mrs. Claus at the end.
Yeah, and what did Hunter really want? His parents. That was his one wish. And you know how he was kind of a bit of an asshole in the beginning, Hunter?
Yeah.
He was on the naughty list.
He was.
That's why he didn't get his parents until he became nice.
Right. Oh man, there's so much to work with. He's not wearing socks. It's because they're being used as stockings.
I had zero idea where you were going to go with that after you said he's not wearing socks.
Yeah. So really, this is a Christmas movie about Santa Claus. Anyways.
Okay.
I don't know. What else? What were you gonna
The
say?
music in this film I thought worked really well.
Yeah.
Now, what's kind of funny only to me is the music was done by Ry Cooder.
Okay.
And the only reason I know that name from before is that I actually watched this really pretty bad Robin Williams movie from the 80s also, where the credit song was by Ry Cooder.
Was it
so the
Father's
movie
Day
was,
or
No, it wasn't. That was from the 90s.
just another bad Robin Williams movie?
No, it was it was Cadillac Man.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think like
Is that like a take on
Robin Williams is like a Cadillac. He's
dealer?
He works at a Cadillac dealership and then he gets like taken hostage or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't that good.
That's
But the song at the end of the movie was by the same guy who did the music in this.
wow.
His
That guy's
name's
had a
Ry
career. Yeah. We should go through his whole filmography and try to just I don't know. Yeah, well I did like the score. There were a
Yeah.
lot of moments where like, and I think this happens more than I think I was just noticing at this time, but where the score matched up really well with like actions in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I noticed that like so many times like the door would slam on the beat or he'd be like walking to the I just think that was like it's again super slow movie, but there was like such a nice like rhythm to everything that felt very intentional. But yeah, I don't know. It's like a I don't really it's like a heavy movie that I don't know how to talk about like casually. Right. But what was it like? What was your takeaway from it? I guess. I don't know.
The thing is, right, I'm actually still I think processing because I watched it earlier today.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take away from it. I mean,
Right.
I think that these specific characters, I kind of feel like I have a broad understanding of their, emotional state. And
Yeah.
I don't know. This film leaves you with a lot of questions. Like, what? Because obviously, this film is super old, so we're not concerning ourselves with spoilers.
Yeah.
You kind of just leave, the like half of the characters like a little over halfway through the movie and never return to them.
Yeah, like his brother Walt and
Yeah.
his wife, who I'm forgetting her character's name, but they just they end on like a really bad note where they have lost their adopted son or whatever, and
Right.
they're just like both really like sad.
And okay, if you really like surmise how the film ends,
Yeah.
right? Their son is taken away, or their adopted son is taken away by the father, who then just leaves the son with the mother,
his mother, yeah.
who didn't even know that the son was there until that day. It's like very confusing as to why the events transpired the way they do. Like why were those decisions made? It's very confusing, and I don't know if I could wrap my head around why the characters acted in the way they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that made sense.
No, it did. Because I'm like, it worked for me, but I'm also like, I'm trying to figure out what the film is trying to say.
Exactly.
that,
That's what it
you
is.
know?
All right. Like I'm watching these events, and I understand, of course,
Yeah.
what the events are, but I'm like, why would you take the kid away from like a stable environment to then just leave the kid again?
Right. Well, I think like, yeah, that's a good point.
I feel like there's something I must be missing because
Yeah.
and it's not, this doesn't negatively affect my perception of the film. It's just like a confusing question, and maybe that's the point.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was very curious about like kind of what Travis does after this. Like kind of I wanted to see like more of like what happens with him. I also wanted to see more of Jane, the wife, or like, cuz I don't know. She, first of all, like, there was amazing performance.
Yeah.
And I felt like just her character had so much that I just wanted to see more of, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I guess that's like the point. I don't know.
Yeah,
really.
and also it's amazing that you're like, I want to see more of like multiple characters in a 2.5 hour movie.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, how many? Because of course the acting was obviously like a very strong part of this film.
Yeah.
You had so many of these like very intense moments that the film just like sits in.
Right.
And that's, obviously. How many Brendan Frasers would you give the acting? In this scale, I want to say how much. Yeah. How many more times better do you think this film was than the acting of Brendan Fraser in the last film?
I was gonna say, is more Brendan Fraser's a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah. It's how many times better you think the acting was.
I would give it like 10 Brendans, each performance, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not the kid though. I didn't like the kid's performance that much.
He was kind of like he was either. Yeah, he was just like too intense in every direction he was playing, I thought. But it wasn't like distractingly bad. It was just like, he was too mean in the beginning, and I'm like, I don't believe this.
Yeah, I want to like pay a little bit more attention to that kid on a rewatch, just because they kind of build him out to be like, I don't know, he's treated like a younger, like a fresh version of his father, like everything to the red outfit and the way he like really hooks like the walking across the sidewalk scene, which I thought was just a really lovely scene. I thought that was so fun.
Yeah.
But I just like, and part of me is like, it's more of like that kid going to her is like a part of him that's like I don't know where I'm going with this, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
I see what you're saying there. It's kind of like I don't know, it's like the good part of him, and that I don't know. Yeah. It's okay because obviously, right? You hit on an important note on this film, and it's one of the things I did understand from that, where because he also talks about his father like making a lot of the same mistakes that he made.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like this generational repeating mistakes element.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know what? I definitely have to watch this film again.
I got.
This is the Karstcast where we analyze a film after seeing it once and not fully understanding it.
Right. I loved the movie. That's the thing. Yeah. I'm just like, there's a lot that I need to think about some more. Which I think is a good movie. It's a movie that it's not like, it isn't so heavy that I don't want to watch it again. I would happily rewatch this tomorrow even, but it stuck with me, but I'm not entirely sure where to go from there. I think I will say like it just got the I don't like the idea that it's about a guy that's kind of like lost and like wandering through space. That can very easily be very boring and hard to translate over to the audience, but for some reason that I really like connected with him and like felt that, and I feel like that happens to a lot of people that watch the movie, hence the fact that it's a classic. So I think that is, I don't know, that's just the part I like the most, I guess.
You wish there was a sequel?
Yeah, called Paris, France, where he does this in France.
It's this exact same film, but it's about a French kid and his parents.
Yeah. This one's Paris,
and
Texas,
it's all in
and
French,
the next
but
one,
no subtitles.
Yeah.
It's important.
Next one is Texas, USA, and he does the whole. I don't know. Yeah. But I liked it. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I'm just just a lot to dissect, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. There also is like some elements where I feel like I'll have a much better understanding on a rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was the whole thing about his dad pretending that his wife was French by saying she's from Paris.
Yeah.
And then Walt marrying a French woman.
Right. It was just like weird stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like stuff where I'm like, I know these things connect somehow.
Yeah.
But I don't exactly have it fully figured out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
our
didn't even
homework we
notice
give
that.
the audience of our podcast.
No, yeah. You know what? This is this is to encourage engagement encourage engagement in the Karstcast subreddit. If you guys have your theories,
Which I will, I'll
write it
visit
down.
today.
I'll
I'm gonna visit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gone there in a little while.
Little cool.
I got afraid of it,
sidetrack.
but I think that I think we've turned a new corner.
I have to go in there every week to go get questions. And it's really
is it looking better?
It's cooled down. Yeah, it's not as
great.
Not as
I'm back in then.
gross. Yeah.
There was too many pictures of your face on feet.
Yeah, that's when
And
I
also
stopped
both of
going
our
in
faces
there.
on Britney Spears
Yeah, those have
and like
stopped.
the Toxic music video. Yeah, okay,
Thank
then
God.
then I'm back in.
I'm back. Yeah. But Jared Gilman, who played the kid in Moonrise
Kingdom.
just like my Wes Anderson tweet. So that's a huge
There you
win
go.
for that.
It's a huge win for this.
I have to ask him to be on the podcast because I just know he'll do it, and that'll be fun.
The palm door. That's pretty good. You know what? I'm gonna retweet that.
I liked your Hot Boys post, by the way.
Yeah.
It lived up to my expectations. It was actually more than I asked for. Like we got a bunch of Jeff content within that post. Yeah. Cool model shots. Yeah. I don't know if you saw my post. I made a painting last weekend.
I did not see that. Wait, where is this? I gotta like whatever it is.
I painted this at home. It's a bunch of
That's
putty.
It's like golf holes. Yeah,
it's like
green
golf holes
like
on a. Thank you.
Yeah, what account is this picture on?
I think it's on my main account. I thought I saw you liked it, but
Insta?
yeah, this isn't me. Something happened because usually I do okay on it. Like I did fine.
I did like it.
You did like it.
Don't
remember it though.
Yeah.
Well, that actually hurts more if I'm being
Yeah, that significantly underperformed the rest
significantly. And I was talking to Nick about this because Nick is a friend of the pod, DP, and he was like, I've heard from photographer friends. He's like, Instagram, the way they're changing their algorithm, where they're favoring videos and like short clips, like so that they can be the next like TikTok. And he's like, as a result, photographers and people that just like post like art stuff, they just get like demolished in the algorithm. And I was like, it's not the best thing in the world, but I'm like, that's why this. Yeah, because I'm like, there's no face. I just realized that. I was like, there's no face in the shot.
I think that's what it is.
It's really weird
because I noticed people, when you have a face in it, people always like it more.
Exactly. Instagram like puts it. It's just weird the way the algorithm can do that.
Yeah.
But anyways, Paris, Texas. What would you give it? And what are some closing thoughts?
The closing thought is again, I need to watch this film again.
Yeah.
I feel like we just touched the surface of like a lot of the different thematic things and even technical things that are happening. Yeah, because I mean, it's a great film. I mean, I liked it a lot. I'll go 4.5.
Nice. Yeah. I think it's like the quintessential movie where it's like you feel it very deeply but don't understand it, which I like movies like that where I feel like Punch Drunk Love was like another movie we talked. Well, I think I liked it more than you, but I was like, I don't understand most of what's happening here, but I'm there. And this is one of those movies. This is a little bit more. This has, I think, more to say than that movie. But, I just thought it was really interesting. Probably going to give it a 4.5 as well. And, cool. Moving on to questions. Challenge.
Honestly, there's a cat right next to me.
I was going to.
That's what is happening here.
What can I. You just have so many animals on this podcast all the time, Jeff. Does the
cat though, so it doesn't understand
French?
me.
Yeah. Cat is like, parlez anglais, parlez français, and you're like, no. Have you spoken a little bit more French, or have you picked up on anything since being there?
A little bit. I'm terrible at French still. I pretty much just say because the problem. Okay, here's my biggest issue with French. Is that the most common thing that you need to say is obviously I'm going to say it as an American like bonjour, but obviously you say it with a French accent when you're in France.
Bonjour.
Right, exactly, and it's so hard to say for somebody who speaks English.
Bonjour.
To because you see exactly. I can get close, but it's not. I don't feel confident in saying it.
Yeah. Parlez français.
And that's the thing that every single person says to you when you walk down the street.
Yeah. I know they're very into greeting each other. Like anytime you walk into any building, you have to say bonjour.
Bonjour. I'm like, oui.
Ça va?
Oui.
Ça va. Ça va
Bonjour à toi.
That was my favorite thing in French because if someone just
Je mange une orange.
Yeah, I eat an orange. L'orange. Yeah, I was waiting for that to come out. Like if a French person asks you ça va, you can just answer ça va, which is funny.
Yeah, I also
anyways.
like how instead of like yes, they'll have them say way.
Way. I know.
Like, it's like the yeah.
That's the yeah.
French.
Because like when I was in France, anytime I said yes, I was like oui, and I got made fun of by my host family.
Yeah,
they were like
oui, yes,
oui.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah. Okay, this first. Well, actually, I have them on my phone today. But these questions come from the subreddit r/Karstcast. Apparently, it's cool there now. This first one comes from mids_Omar. And it is, what movie have you always wanted to watch but is just impossible to find? I don't know how much you've like struggled with this, Jeff.
Right, because I don't
you
have
don't,
like a desire to see. Yeah. Okay, so I'm aware of a film that I've seen that is that film for many people.
Yeah.
Gummo.
It literally, that's my answer. That's my answer.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it
so
much. I wish I hadn't
so
seen it.
bad. I'm just, I don't know if I'd like it, but I'm so curious.
I despise that movie. So
yeah.
That's I guess kind of an answer is that I've seen a film that is that. So maybe it's that don't meet your heroes thing.
Yeah. I want to see Gummo so bad.
Yeah. Ugh. What if my answer was a movie that's like very easy to find?
Yeah.
I'm like John Carter. Like, it's like on everywhere pretty much. Like Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Toy Story 2.
It's like any Netflix original movie.
Yeah.
You're like the Netflix original film, the Unicorn Store or whatever. I was gonna say the Umbrella Store, but that's not.
There's the Umbrella Academy, which is a
Umbrella
series,
Academy.
right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm literally gonna say Gummo.
Actually, you know what my answer is?
Yeah.
Sorry, your answer is Gummo?
It is Gummo. Yeah. I want to see it. I don't think I'll like it, but yeah. What is your answer?
This is technically true. French Dispatch.
That is technically true. Actually, it is premiering as we speak. I caught the little live stream of the red carpet thing right before we hopped on this. Wow. So it is literally like people are literally watching it right now, which is
that's sad for us.
Yeah. It just made me want to be there.
Yeah,
but
we have to have a much more popular podcast so we get invited to these things.
Yeah. Well, next time Wes has a movie in can.
Yeah.
But the press reviews have come out from the press screening, and it seems to be pretty good. People really like it. So
okay, the way
what if they were like, it sucks?
Yeah,
they're like disappointment
this actually,
of being here.
Yeah, this was not pushed because of the pandemic. It was pushed because it's bad.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the answer for that. This next one comes from Roller Skate Butterfly, and it is most random expensive purchase. This is a really interesting question. I've never considered it. But yeah, what is
random expensive? I almost
expensive
never
purchase.
purchase things.
I know you're really good at budgeting. So yeah.
It's my budget. I spend nothing, and then I spend all my money when I travel. It's like the tweet about like someone budgeting, and it's like they spend like $1,500 a month on candles. You know what tweet I'm talking about?
No. Oh yeah. That seems like a Dan White type of tweet, to be honest. But it's not.
It might, or is it a drill tweet? I don't know.
It was a drill tweet. Yeah. Dan White had that funny tweet recently where he posted his 17 vaccine
15
shots.
shots.
Yeah. And I've read the replies, and there's people that are like, "This is very concerning."
Okay,
don't
where did
spread
those people that thought it
misinformation.
was? Yeah. Also, there's like a few people I think that thought it was like true.
Yeah,
And
but it's
why
like
would he
very
have
clearly
a vaccine
photoshopped.
card that
That
has 15
long.
slots?
Yeah.
Who made?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say my most random purchase. I bought like a mirrorless camera when I was not in the zone to get one. You know, like
Yeah,
I just
really?
kind
You
of-
just kind of like went for it?
Yeah, it was like a day before thing, but I still think that's pretty impulsive. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna buy a mirrorless camera, and I did.
It's your Sony
A7 II,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, what you use for all your videos. So
Yeah. I use
it's
it
a
for
great camera.
Good amount. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
'cause-
fantastic. I love it. It's a great camera.
I got my.
Oh, there it is. Is that a Sony or?
No, it's a Canon R.
Nice. I got a Canon 70D right here.
Nice. Look at that. It's like on a little stick.
Yeah.
You got a little monopod.
It's a whole full
No,
tripod.
it's a full. It's like one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably the answer to that. Cool. Did you
Okay,
Did you answer or?
So honestly, I had this habit where I got in this really bad habit for like a couple weeks where I kept buying these really expensive juices.
Yeah.
Like it was these cold pressed like juices,
Right.
and they were really good, and I kept buying them. So I would buy like 3 a week, and they were like it was just a normal like size juice, and it was like $6.
That is a lot for juice, to be honest.
It
But
was really good juice, but I had to stop doing it. But it was really
yeah, damn. I always, when I'm traveling, buy Fiji. By the way, the water, because I think it's worth it.
good. You're like, you know what? I'm doing a lot of walking. Got to stay hydrated.
Gotta stay hydrated.
with water from Japan or whatever.
Yeah, it tastes better than normal water, and I love the bottle.
Okay, is Fiji water from the country Fiji?
It can't be. There's no way, because it's distributed it's in every gas station.
Yeah.
It's not like a rare thing.
That'd be such a that'd be such a difficult place to export
Yeah.
from.
to get it from Fiji to like
Okay,
Duluth,
where-
Minnesota.
I'm googling this. Fiji water sourced.
Yeah,
Okay, let's see.
it's probably like Idaho.
It's
or
a
something.
remote part of Fiji's main island, Viti Levu.
That's
And then
crazy.
it's transported directly into bottles.
Wow.
Wait. But this is from an article that says Fiji Water closes operations in Fiji.
They are now in South Carolina or something. Yeah. That's weird. But
There's also an article that says the dark secret of Fiji water. So I don't know.
you know what? I want to stay away from that. I want to drink my Fiji water.
Yeah, I'm not going to read that.
Yeah. This next one comes from it's a travel question. And it's from Jebediah the Great, and it is, would you guys recommend traveling alone? Jeff, I think I've only traveled alone one time from what I can remember, and it was like a day trip. It was barely.
Yeah.
But Jeff, you've you were very experienced in this.
Yeah, I've done it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is difficult to answer because I don't know how different it would be with COVID.
That's true.
But the thing that's fun about traveling alone is you stay in hostels, because then you're not really alone, right? You're just surrounded by a
Yeah.
bunch of other people who are also traveling, and then you just like hang out and talk.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that experience is currently like that similar.
Yeah.
But if you do travel alone, you have to, I would say, spend at least half your nights at hostels.
Totally.
Again, this is if it's safe with COVID and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that's how I would always do it. I'd probably spend like half the days in like an Airbnb that was like pretty cheap, and then half days in hostels. And it's nice because you get like this mix of like being kind of sometimes on your own and it's nice and quiet. Yeah. Or, but it's not too quiet because then you mix it up by staying at hostels and you just like talk to people and then go to bars and stuff.
Yeah. Safety wise, though, I mean, there's like ups and downs to traveling alone, I feel like. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think
budgeting.
Also the fact that, obviously I'm like a man. So I think that traveling alone, if you're like a woman, is more difficult, or some, yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of factors, right? If you're someone who I guess is at a higher, percentage like target for some type of like attack, that might be difficult. Of course, for me, it's nice. Yeah, not nice necessarily, but I mean, it's like fortunate that I am both
tall,
a man and tall.
Yeah.
So people don't really want to mess with me.
Yeah, I'm a man and I'm small, and I have a large.
You're medium.
Letterbox, so I think people will easily.
Yeah, they will. You will be the target of a lot of harassment.
Yeah, I can't go to film festivals anymore. People,
Karsten, you loser.
Kick my ass. Yeah.
Show a picture of yourself instead of that green box.
I know.
Green dot.
Can't stand that turquoise. Fuck. Yeah. I'm pretty close to being the top follower. By the way, I'm starting to pay some attention to it. I'm
the top like letterbox user.
Yeah. I think I'm like 3,000 away, and that's gonna. I don't know what I'm considering. I'm like, what if I just shut down my account at that point? Like I hit the
that would be a big. That would be a big play. What would actually be funnier is if you give your account, change the name to like someone else.
Yeah.
You just give so everyone's like, who the hell is this?
I'm gonna change the color of the profile picture. Yeah. I'll just
you change it to a picture of a trophy. You're like, I won.
Number one.
I won Letterboxd. Okay, how many followers do you think I have on Letterboxd?
I'm gonna guess
the answer may
2,000 something.
2,450. That probably puts me in the
You're in the popular members list. I hope you know that.
What?
I went in there to try and find you, and you were there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for people who follow people based on that.
You're in. I know. Well, no, I didn't mean I know, but like you're in there, and I think Cookie's in there.
Yeah, because Cookie, is Cookie more popular than me on Letterboxd?
I don't know, but Cookie's been on Letterboxd since like 2015.
Yeah,
like Cookie's known about
popping on Letterboxd. Also, Cookie is just for anyone listening, a much better follow than me on Letterboxd.
That's what I was saying. I was like, if you don't like my reviews, you're not gonna like my bubble of friends' reviews, because you and I do
I'm
like
included
the same.
In that.
Yeah, you make like jokey reviews. I'm like, none of us are writing well-written reviews here.
Yeah.
So
we're the cool kids of Letterboxd.
Yeah, we stay tight. We stay.
The Karst crew. That's what we're gonna call ourselves.
That's not at all what we're gonna call ourselves. Yeah. Well, that does it for questions, though.
That does it for questions.
Let's move into the wrap up. Next movie, I will say, because it comes out in 4 days, we should do Space Jam. It's gonna be on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to figure out schedule-wise when this episode comes out. It might be a day or two late next week.
Yeah, which is, you're shooting a film, which I think maybe takes precedence over doing the podcast.
Well,
but
I mean, there is a break day because we're doing an overnight, and then there's a day in between where we're not shooting. Mm-hmm. So I could do it.
You probably don't.
I'm gonna be busy though. I'm gonna be doing other things that day.
You're probably not gonna want to have to watch Space Jam #1 and then do the podcast. So we'll see. It'll come out at some time like next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like Mike
during the week.
You don't have to come in to shoot that day, but you're gonna be on the podcast. So we still have to. Yeah.
Okay, for real though, when the thing comes out, we gotta have Mike on the podcast.
Yeah, Mike is gonna be on the podcast for sure.
Yeah, Mike's the best.
Cool. Well then, next week we're talking about Space Jam 2. Cool.
What's it called again?
A New Legacy or some shit.
A New Legacy.
I don't really know.
That's terrible.
I have a movie for after that I think we should watch too, by the way. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. It looks
Happy
really
Feet
fun.
2?
It is not Happy Feet 2. It's Happy Feet 2: A New Legacy.
Get it, legacy, because you have to use your legs to dance.
When I was younger, I used to do a really good impression of the penguins dancing, but I'm not going to do that here on the.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to do a really good impression of the mouse from Space Jam.
Yeah, can you do it now?
No, I can't because my voice changed.
Yeah. Next, we like to read a review because we love hearing what you guys have to say. We read every review that we get, so you should leave one if you want us to read it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll read it. We'll cry over it if it's mean.
Possibly, yeah. If it's not 5 stars.
Or we'll do like a really digital high five with each other if it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just like an NFT, you'll get to own that high five.
That's not true. I just want to be clear that we cannot guarantee that at all.
So this one comes from Treva Felto from the USA. The subject line is "Give it a dang listen," 5 stars, and it reads, "Hello, dedicated fan here. I'm using my wife's phone to leave another 5-star review because this podcast is just the greatest. Your time will be extremely well spent here, whether you are driving to work, doing household chores, or just walking your dog. Do yourself a favor and tune in weekly for 2 friends hanging out and talking about movies."
That's it. That is
it.
The podcast.
Right there. That's it.
Exactly,
you heard it here first. Our listeners are married, so that's
if you listen to this podcast, you will be married.
You will get someone to
unless
marry
you don't want to be, and then
in which case you won't. You'll be happy regardless.
Yeah, you'll be happily unmarried.
Yeah.
The only common theme between the listeners is that they're happy.
They're very happy people. Yeah. So thank you.
Only when they listen.
Felto. Only. Lastly, we want to thank all the lovely peeps over at patreon.com/Karstcast. If you would like to get in on the fun, head on over to that URL, patreon.com/Karstcast. I'm dragging this out so that I can get to the Patreon.
Yeah,
page.
and also just know that if you are a patron, you get your name added to this list, and it kind of becomes like a song that Carson sings at the end of the.
Your name becomes a lyric. Yeah. I'm not going to sing
and the greatest song ever written.
Right. You also get exclusive access to bonus episodes, which Jeff and I try our best to do. We're a little behind it this month, but regardless of when you sign up, you have a huge backlog to listen to. Yeah. So you just have so much Karstcast content.
There's going to be 2 new ones this month.
Yes.
There's also going to be at the end of the month a Zoom hangout.
Yep. So head on over to the Patreon for tons of fun. And without any further ado, thank you. Antonio DeMarco, Ben Chow, Blake Root, Boy, Brandon Yu, Brock Schultz, Camilla, Chuck the Duck, Cruella for Best Picture, Daniel Cook, David Sir, Eden, Gavin Henderson, Grant Gow, Harry Remedianakis, I Don't Live in Ohio, Iva, Jaden Easton, Jacob Colness, John Van Hout, Jordan Hill, Judy S, KDT, Kaylee Patney, Liv Rob, Lukewarm, Martin Duff, Marilee Borslow, Meridian, Michael Rennie, Monroe Page, Nora B, Parks, Riley Oss, Skylar Ermel, Sophia Arieta, Stella Perry, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Werman, Jagerman Jensen, The Monopoly Man, Tom Likes Beans, Vegard Strom, Vera S, Wes Kinley, Xavier Faucier, Youssef A, and Zoe Hernandez McDonald. Boom. Oh my god, I came back to the Zoom and he's got a cat. That was like one of my fastest reads. And that
was really fast.
Yeah. And that's our furriest guest, the cat. Cool.
This cat actually does not make like any noise at all.
It's super French. It's like the most French cat I've...
Honestly, it was outside on the deck smoking earlier.
Cool. Well, that does it for this episode. Jeff, do you have anything else to say?
You know what? I'll catch you on the flip side.
Nice.
Yeah, that's... Ooh.
Oh.
The cat jumped away. I want to say to Carson Runquist, have fun making that movie.
Thank you, Jeff. I'll be we'll keep you updated.
I'm expecting how some pictures whenever you have time, but
there's gonna be some pictures.
Maybe a quick FaceTime.
Yeah. We'll during the set, during a take actually, I'll FaceTime you. Just like, yo, check out what Mike's doing.
And you say it during the take, like they're doing the take. You're like, look at Mike Brunley, and he's like looks back like,
it's like what? Cool.
Anyways, flip side.
Uh,